Hi there folks, welcome to the Amazing Brick Network. My name's Tori Favreau and I really hope that this finds you well. Today I'm really excited. We're going to be building the Disney Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie set. This was LEGO Ideas set number 025 and there's the warning that the boat does not float. In case you don't know, Mickey Mouse has been around forever and Steamboat Willie was one of his first ever incarnations. So the thing I do love about this set is it is monochromatic. So we're going to be building in black and white, which I reckon is really cute, really neat. And I can't wait to get into this and show you just a little bit more about how it all gets put together. Now, even though it's a smallish box, it is quite heavy. It's certainly got a heft to it. So I'm imagining that there are quite a few bricks inside here. And if you're from another country, interesting, I don't know if it happens in your part of the world, but Australian Lego sets don't have how many bricks are inside. So it's on the very odd occasion that we do get a set that has a brick count on the outside. We generally just get the item number and the age, which in this case they're thinking that 10 plus should be okay to build this. So I'm 48, so that means I'm probably going to have a bit of a struggle. But if you like what I'm doing and you haven't done it before, please subscribe to the channel. It means ever so much. And give us a like because I'm going to be doing my best to be building this for us all to enjoy. Okay, so without further ado, let's open up this bad boy and get straight into this build because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun and I'm keen to see the contents. Generally, sorry about that, I just knocked the tripod. Generally, they do have a lot of information and other bits and pieces inside that do make for quite an interesting time. So let's get straight into it. Find our tape. Remember kids, if you are watching and you don't want to hurt yourself, make sure you maybe get a parent to assist you with cutting open that tape. Be very careful with knives, guys, because if you don't be careful, you can get hurt. All right, so first things first, we've got it open. On top, there is just bricks in there, as you can see. Let's get these out. There's generally something pretty cool inside. It's funny, for a black and white build, there's a lot of colour that I'm pulling out of this here, but I am sure that that is just to help build the actual outside, or sorry, rather the inside of it. So lowering the camera down just a little bit, and here is our book. That's pretty cool. And of course that's a QR code and you scan that and then you can use electronic instructions if you don't want to use the book. I know that some of you do get your iPads out. For me, I have a little book holder here and I tend to just sit that up there, put it to one side so it's not in our way, and then we get straight into the build. Okay, so I think it is time to build. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you don't have to live through the agonizing time of me finding bricks. Thank you so very much for watching, and let's get straight into this. At the very end of the video though, I will give a slowed down voiceover, you know, as to my final thoughts, and there will be a voiceover during the build itself. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, so we're jumping into this build, and I can tell you right now, it was a lot of fun. That is absolutely for sure. I've sped it up so as I don't put you through the pain of having to watch it in slow time. It did take a few hours, but the way it was all put together was really fun. Now, this particular section here, as you can see, I'm making a little stand with Mickey Mouse on there, and there's something weird about that later, and I'll certainly go back and address it. 1928 on that stand, and we're building the framework for the Steamboat right now. Exceedingly cleverly done. Lots of cogs and wheels there that are helping us do actions that later on I will be able to show you. There is a little video after the build, so do stay on board for that one. And folks, I do appreciate you watching. The channel's going from strength to strength, and it is all because of you guys. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. Now, this was the first bit that we had to fit in here. It does generate a certain action later. I don't want to spoil it for you. We'll get there soon enough. That is absolutely for sure. I always find it interesting, like how Lego does these multi-brick or the multicolored brick interiors. I guess it is to help with the instructions to see where you put everything. Considering that the majority of the build is monochromatic, I did think initially that there would be, you know, just white and black bricks throughout. But no, the general build itself, even though there's so many beautiful bright colors there, they do a really good job of hiding and concealing those. This is the base of the boat just there that we're starting to do, and we'll be showing you how we fit everything else together. It's actually quite cleverly done. Those black pieces that you saw for 2 seconds there, they didn't hold at first. They kept coming loose on me until eventually I was able to strengthen them with the other elements that just went into the end of the ship there. Was that the forward or aft section? As an old sea dog myself, I was in the Navy for 8 years. I do know the terminology, but this is all happening so darn quick that I was like, is that the forward or back end? There we go. So we're putting the aft section on now. Looks pretty cool, and it was certainly very sturdy. By the time all that had happened, it was very sturdy. So then you've got the 1928s. You can barely make them out on the actual ship itself, but they're certainly there, I can assure you of that. Now, for those who don't know, this LEGO Ideas set, it does represent, I believe, one of the first Mickey Mouse cartoons ever, which was Steamboat Willie, and that's how initially he was known, Steamboat Willie. It wasn't so much Mickey Mouse, but it was also the name of the ship too, so it's just a cool little build. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know it's been out for a little while here, but I thought this is an opportunity for me to show you the build, and I'm going to be doing more builds like that of sets that have come out before, sets I may have in my shame pile. The way I see it is not everyone's lucky enough to get some of these, and it may be a set that you haven't experienced before. So keep your eye out on future shows. There's a lot headed your way, that's for sure. I'm very excited to be bringing it all to you, and we'll be having lots of builds, lots of fun, in addition to the shows where I show you other people's builds and give you LEGO news or warnings about when sets are about to come out. So there's a lot going on with the channel, and it is all thanks to you guys. I do appreciate everyone who watches. If you are watching though and you haven't hit that subscribe button, if you could do so, that would mean the world to me. YouTube sends you all the figures, and I can see that a lot of people who are watching are not subscribed. So if you can do me that favor, hit the subscription, hit the bell for notifications. That way you are warned when new shows are coming out. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to watch them if it doesn't interest you, but it is something that you would then get a warning to know that there is an episode, and potentially it may be something that you enjoy. Don't know if you saw me rocking the boat there, no pun intended, but it made that sort of piston area move up, and you'll see why shortly. But yeah, the wheels and everything underneath, they're very solid. The cogs, the way it's been planned out is exceptionally good. I'm really, really thrilled and impressed with how neat this build is. I've never seen what the initial fan-built set looks like, so do forgive me there. I've only seen the retail set that LEGO would have ended up redesigning to suit financial purposes and requirements there. If you're not familiar with LEGO Ideas, a fan would have made this. It would have been voted 10,000 times, then put before LEGO for consideration and licensing. And then the LEGO team works out the most financially viable way of building this, because so many clever builders out there, they've got bricks to spare and they put in a lot of bricks, and LEGO says, well, no, that isn't viable for, you know, financials there. And did you see those little chimneys? They were moving up and down when I did move the boat. So apologies there if it is a little bit too quick, but you will see it again at the end of the video, I can assure you. So getting back to what I was saying before, those sets, they do go before LEGO, and then LEGO works out the very best way of putting the bricks together in order for you to have a set that you can actually afford. Some of them sometimes, like the new medieval set that's going to be coming out soon, unfortunately, it's going to be great. I certainly want it, but it looks nothing like the original build that was submitted to LEGO Ideas. It's one of those times I was really surprised. I am keen to build it and to show you, but yeah, the original idea set that was submitted by a fan doesn't quite look like what LEGO eventually did. It's loosely modelled on it, to say the least. We've got the paddles on here, but yeah, they aren't always exactly the same. So just be aware of that when you're supporting your favourite creators. They go to a lot of work, and we don't always see all the fruits of their labour in the final set. But it still must be such an honour and a thrill to have your set made by LEGO. And of course, I believe that the designer ends up getting a small share of the profits as well, which is absolutely wonderful and thoroughly deserved. Making those paddles was a lot of fun. I didn't think it would be, because I don't like doing a lot of repetition when I'm building, but it was satisfying to crunch them all on. And as you can see, whenever the boat moves a little bit, or the ship, the paddles do move. So they absolutely do move, folks. And we're building the rest of the stacks there, and yeah, moving it a little bit too fast for any of the real detail to come through. But It's a nice and solid ship. It's just beautifully realized. It is more of a fascia than anything, and most of the innards there are actually the mechanism for moving everything, like the paddles and to move those chimneys. But yeah, this was fun. This was the one bit I didn't really enjoy so much here, because you've got to use this thread it through, and I've got big sausage fingers, so doing any sort of small tiny knots was sort of frustrating, but I did trim it off eventually with the knife that I used to make or open up the sets, I should say. So there you go. There is the build, and get ready for the talk about. Follow us on social media, and this is how you do it, guys. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up the build. I certainly hope that you enjoy it. I certainly did. Those minifigures are ridiculously cute. In case it doesn't pick it up as well as what I would have hoped, these points here are actually silver, as in metallic silver, as is Minnie's dress, Mickey's pants, and the little flower in the hat. There are also little hints of silver in the guitar, in the strings. It looks really cool, and you end up with that. I don't get why during the actual building process they tell you to remove the stand. It becomes an unusable part of the build. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I mean, I would have found some way of just leveling it down, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, because you want to still see the mouse ears. The actual SS Willie, just awesome. Such a lovely build. I mean, you guys would have seen several times during the process of the build that, you know, there's wheels underneath, and you do have to hold them down fairly sturdily, but on this surface anyhow. But it does move around. I feel. There we go. It's just sliding on my table, on my build table. But so everything moves around. You know, you've got your little keel there. You know, you've got your hook. You can wind it down, wind it up. It does have a mechanism that works there. But all things said and done, this is a beautiful little throwback to, you know, the black and white era of Mickey Mouse. I think it's certainly very cool. It took a few hours to make. And of course, I've sped this up for you to enjoy. It would have been sort of cool if we could somehow have, like, maybe steam plumes coming off the top. But we don't. We're reviewing the build as it is. This is, as I said, part of the Lego Ideas. So you are looking at paying a little bit more because of that branding. But no, overall, all things said and done, you can generally get this for about 100 Australian dollars. And I think just in terms of something really cool, certainly very different, it's well worth it. So good on you guys. Big thumbs up. I highly enjoyed it. Like I said, I hope you do too. If you like what we're doing here and trying to achieve, give us a like and subscribe. It certainly helps everything go along a lot more smoothly. And until next video, you guys take care of each other, okay? Stay well. Bye.